Time to close out round number 15 in Major League Rugby, and today we come to you from Southern California. It's a coast against coast battle. RFC LA, Miami, all the way cross country to take on this RFC side. A high-scoring attack. They've got all kinds of depth and firepower. Miami, they're red hot. You look at the standings on the right. We'll start with Miami because today, if they get 5 points, they would clinch a playoff berth, and the Eastern Conference would be locked up. On the other side, LA, just 8 out of first entering this one, so an awful lot to play for between these two sides. Great to be with you here on this Sunday evening in the Eastern time zone out west in LA in the afternoon. Ben Holden, Will Hooley. This has got all kinds of storylines. Will, what intrigues you the most?
Well, Miami can get a first franchise appearance in the playoffs with a win today, but RFC LA, we have loved commentating on them. I mean, they're coming off LA and Miami, fantastic wins last week from the last round, and the race to the playoffs is on. RFC LA in the West, of course, can get into that top 4. But it's just a really exciting game we've got coming up. Two teams are in red-hot form. And they're contrasting styles, as we'll get into. Time now for Will's head-to-head, and today, going with the number 7s, tell us why. Well, listen it, okay? I understand that Benny Bonasso has played a lot more minutes than Heaton, but I was so impressed by the Canadian international last week for LA. He has the ability to turn over ball and is a defensive masterclass. And look, Benny Bonasso in the wide channels, he has the ability to add that attacking threat, but these guys are going to go up against each other hard because the speed of ball is going to be so key. They will be pivotal as to whether that speed will be in their favor. Looking forward to seeing how that matchup plays out, and the rest of this one, a big one from the Great Park in Irvine, California. Miami trying to clinch their first ever playoff spot against RFC LA next. This presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by ShopMLR.com. Get your MLR fan gear today at ShopMLR.com. And by Sportable. Smart ball insights and data brought to you by Sportable. California coast, and we are just about set to go. Time to take a look at the starting lineups. Will Hooley, they're brought to us by Sportable. And up first, RFC LA. RFC LA coming off that fantastic win against Chicago on Monday, and they only make one change, and it's a forced change as such. Ed Timpson's been in such good form, replaced by Semi Kunatani, one of the absolute showstoppers, the Fijian. Watch out for him, and also watch out for Jason Dahl, the captain. He has been a workhorse for LA this year. As for the backs, there is no Gonzalo Bertrano. The Argentinian standout is replaced because of suspension by Taz Smith. But look at the back line. It is threats across the board, including Billy Meeks, who is, of course, a two-time back of the year in MLR. Steve Hoyles knows that this is a big game because he has to try and keep himself in the playoff hunt. Look who he's got on the bench, though. He has got Reese McDonald to come on and make an impact.
Reese Lightning, we'll see if he makes an impact. Miami, their lineup. Take us through their starters here today.
Well, there's 4 changes. They've gone for a little bit of difference today with this cross-country challenge. Rebasone comes in at 5. You've got Beckerman coming in at 6, and you've got Fulau at number 8. So there is some changes just to freshen things up. A reminder, they do have a game on Friday next week. As for the backs, well, there's also 3 changes here. Thomas Inciarte comes in at 9 to replace Cabelli, and then you've also got Santiago Videla, the international, Chilean international. Thomas Malanos also finds himself on the wing today. Jose Pellicino, well, you said it, Ben, they can get themselves in the playoffs. They got a pretty stacked bench to help them out in the likes of the Argentinian international Cabelli, and they've also got Welsh international Kirby Myhill. It's going to be a fascinating contest.
Looking forward to it. There is the man in the middle, Luke Rogan, wearing the wireless mic for us today. His 12th match of the 2025 season. He's worked in the middle the most of any referee in MLR so far this season. His 3rd time working RFC LA, 2nd working Miami. Khalil Harrison, Kirk Swanner are the assistant referees. And Cam Russell is our TMO on site here in Indy with Will and I. And the match is underway. This Miami side, they get the take here to begin. They're in those very Miami pink kits. A good look for them. RFC LA here in their home whites. Miami comes in. They've won 5 of 6, Will. They got off to a bit of a slow start. They only won 2 of their first 6. Then they lost 4 in a row, and they found the mojo here recently.
Both sides, you could say, actually has found their mojo recently. And at the right time of year, Miami, as you say, in that red-hot form, beating the Free Jacks at home last week. But then for LA as well, that trip to Chicago, that win on Monday night, these 2 teams are full of confidence.
What a win that was. What a match. Still buzzing from that one. That was fun. Quite a showing between LA and Chicago in that one. A 26-24 win for RFC LA. Got the winning try in the red on the clock. It was Franco Vandenberg. They call him the Iceberg. He's had tries in each of their last 2 matches. There's the kick there from Taz Smith. Obviously a different 9. Do you feel that's going to make a huge difference for LA without Bertrano?
Look, Taz Smith is also an experienced player. He has come off the bench many times. He has had plenty of minutes for LA this season, so he'll know the style of play that LA will want to bring, and I'm sure that he'll be able to match that challenge.
Here's a ball down on the deck and a good tackle down low around the ankle there on Christian Lealiafano. He's a dangerous one, among the top scorers in Major League Rugby. First time rugby's ever been played in this stadium. They call it the Great Park in Orange County. There's Kunatani trying for the offload. Matt Heaton, who Will talked about in his head-to-head in the open. And that one kicked free there, kicked ahead by Inciarte, but a knock-on is called here by Luke Rogan.
Semi Kunatani getting that start at number 8. And he is always the threat on the offload. He comes in, keep an eye on the LA back row.
They call him the Beast from his days with the Flying Fijians in the Olympics. You could not ask for a better day weather-wise, Will. Terrific conditions here.
Southern California. How
Nothing
good.
like it.
Hey, that's why I moved over there to play rugby for San Diego Legion. But RFC LA, good to see them here in Orange County, expanding their horizons. And we've got a healthy crowd today as well in this big contest, because for both sides, you've got to remember for RFC LA as well, in their franchise history, both of them, Miami and LA, are going for that first playoff spot. Wow, it's all on the line.
Well, RFC LA in 5th in the West out of 5. They're only 8 out of 1st, though. They get 5 points today. They jump over San Diego, who's idle, and Seattle. Seattle keeps winning. Here comes RFC LA. Speed up the line. There's Rory Van Voot. Top 5 in MLR meters gained. There's Kunatani in there on the clean out. Pick free there by Haney. Got it back now. The pace that LA plays with can leave your head spinning a lot of times. They've done it to a lot of teams. 14 bonus points. They've got 11 bonus points for Try, bonus points this season. They got it last week in that victory at the death on that try by Vandenberg. They're coming with some pace now. Good ball. Here's the Canadian Andrew Coe. Up in the air. It goes backwards. It's picked up and whistled here by Luke Rogan. And it's a knock-on call.
Well, here we go. We're just seeing the early signs of the LA attack, and it's good to see Taz Smith as well really be at the center of that. It's their ability to play quick. Just from the breakdown, get the ball away, and then you get into space. Watch how Taz Smith just attacks the gain line a little bit to enable Andrew Coe to come through the gap. You're going to see that a lot today. Rory Van Voot, Andrew Coe working off their scrum half, trying to play with that tempo.
And one of the things they do, and I'm going to give you some numbers from last match they played on Monday, at this tempo, at this pace, they forced Chicago to make 252 tackles, the most ever in 8 seasons of this league for a losing side. They wear you out with that tempo. Here's Taz Smith to put in here in the 5th minute here in the scrum, and it comes crumbling down to the ground.
Just mentioning what you just said there about the defense is the exhaustion it puts on a side, and I think that's exactly what they're going to have to do with this Miami team today. Obviously, a cross-country travel, not easy.
No.
I can tell you that from experience. And it's interesting that Jose Pellicena has actually decided just to rest a few players up. He's got some great players on the bench, the likes of Emmanuel Ardao, the Uruguayan international, has been superb, Thomas Cabelle, so they'll make an impact later on. But if I was LA, get into this Miami team early, get them tackling early, keep the ball in play, keep it alive, keep it fast.
LA came into round 15, 3rd in MLR, just a couple away from the top of the heap in terms of tries scored with 60 on the season. Smith can't get in there and get the ball free. Kunatani got it to him. Now it's in the hands. Now way out over the top. Great ball. Here's Van Voot. Big carry. Broke a tackle. He's close to the line. Meeks comes in. But it's going to be called a knock-on here on LA, I do believe.
Really, really good attack from LA. Just hold it if we can. So look at the way that they're going to shape to come on this right-hand side, but that's just a decoy, Ben. Yep. They're going to end up using their runners to then come back down and have the player advantage on this left-hand side, and then it's a great pass from Leo Lafana. Play it on. Just watch the way they shape right, but then come to the left. They get the defense all at a scramble, Miami, and that is where the attack just opens up that space out wide. Really good first set-piece attack from LA.
Sure was. Unfortunately for LA, though, knocked on there, and that was the knock on there on Rory Van Voot. Billy Meeks came in, sniffing around for his 7th, but he won't get it this time around.
Just a clever side, LA. Sam Harris being part of their attack coach. I know Steve Hoyles has all his fingerprints on it as well. They think about how they're going to attack, but they also keep it simple, and that's why it's also effective.
Here's the scrum now for the Miami Sharks, year 2 in MLR. 6-10 last season. 5 of their last 6, they've been on the right side ever since that loss. Their 4th in a row. At New England, they got pounded 43-6. They've turned it around. They've turned the corner. A chance here to get into the postseason in year 2. That would be a major accomplishment if they can do it.
It would be, and considering as well they've had their injuries to deal with, particularly in the front row. They're starting to get some of those players back, but they have been injury-ridden at times during the season. Here's a line out now. LA gets a chance here. Inside of the 22 into the hands of Ben Sugars. Now Van Voot. To ground Rory goes. Spun back for Kunatani. He is such a threat. They call him the Beast. I mean, look at this guy rumble. Tough to get him down. I asked Jason Dom yesterday when I talked to him, I said, how do you tackle this guy? He said, you got to be perfect when you go in to try to take him down. He's a big, big man. Penalty here, not releasing in time, and it's going back to Miami. It is, because it's some great work by Marquez Fulao, the CWU 2023 MLR draftee, who I've always been impressed when he's had his chance. He was at Dallas Jackals, comes over here to Miami. Really good operator both sides of the ball, and great to see his talent come through. They needed that turnover there. And that man, Shane O'Leary, the Canadian international, what a game he had last week. And off the tee, he's been superb. Benny Bonasso, he also has
4 points. his second 15-point match of the season last week, as you mentioned. And he has made a massive difference as the Canadian O'Leary. Here's Miami now. No score of the match, 8.5 into it. RFC LA won their last two after they went winless in a 3-game stretch after they had won 4 in a row. Now LA coming up with the turnover. Saw Nick Chan, their number 13, one of their centers, saying, let's go that way. And the ball now in the hands of their 9 today, Taz Smith. Let's get our keys to the game in here, Will Hooley. Walk us through these and give us some reasoning behind them.
Well, I've said Taz Smith because it's about playing quick. There's no Bertrand today. He needs to step up. I know he can do it, as I've already mentioned, but this side is all about the tempo. The scrum halves are going to be key to that. As for Miami, well, they need to slow it down.
Yeah.
I honestly believe if they are going to win tonight, it has to be that you stop LA's tempo quick attack. The Sharks are doing that relatively well at the moment. A couple of turnovers already.
And offensively, this Miami side, they like to kick it a lot. We saw last week they had 2 crossfield kicks, so that's how they try and counter that, right?
They do, and also they look to try and get that territory. They really build their game off that, and it's something what Pelliceno has said about the culture that he wants to bring as well. That kick chase element, that, well, the kick is only as good as its chase, and it's not just kicking for the sake of it, it's making sure they win that territory battle. When they come out of after games, they want to see that stat in their favor. And to be fair to them, when I've had their matches and they've won, guess what? They've had that territory advantage. So expect today, Alias being in the pocket, Shane O'Leary getting in the pocket, and making sure Miami are playing in the right areas of the field.
Good stuff. Here's the scrum now for the Sharks. Call is against Miami, though.
Free kick there, I think just a slightly too early on the scrum.
Beg your pardon, it's on LA, yes.
So therefore, Miami, they'll just have this ability to, Elias, put it up in the air.
Most recently with the Dallas Jackals, a lot of really good players from that Dallas side that went away after last season, their magical run all the way to the Western Final. LA now back with possession here. Nearing 11 minutes gone here in the opening half. No score in this one. LA 6-6-1, Miami 7-6. Both firmly entrenched in the playoff race in their respective conferences. Miami with 5 today would clinch a spot that would eliminate NOLA. Here's a steal now, and a heavy shove there with that right arm. The Sharks now on a good attacking platform here. Getting to the ball first, Jason Dom, captain of LA. Top 10 in tackles in the league. Now the carry there from Santiago Videla, the Chilean international, well experienced player. Good forward run here from Miami. Kunatani got him to ground. Miami playing with some pace. O'Leary now gave the ball off into the hands there of Orlando. He had a try last week, put Miami up 30-14. Another good carry there from Casares. They are working their way right down the pitch here. They're giving LA a dose of their own medicine. Got an option outside if they want it. Instead, they're forced back in, but a good job here to continue forward. Dom and Kunatani get him to ground, and Rogan with the call here.
As you say, Ben, some really good tempo, speed of ball, Miami, and they were just getting in behind LA as well. And it's other key area where you talked about their attacking, kicking game as such, but also their offloading game. When they get in behind the defense, they then get the offloads. That man, Benny Benassa, excellent in the wide channels. His ability to get through contact, get that offload away, and that is where their attack really starts to build. So early signs from Miami, that's the first sort of time we see them have the ball. Good phases, good momentum, and they find themselves now kicking a penalty towards the corner. Interestingly, not taking the points. They back themselves for a try.
Work their way down here to get set up here for this upcoming lineup. Sean McNulty has been rotating with Kirby Myhill. They're fortunate to have 2 really good hookers, and here's McNulty with a big opportunity here. Early stages. Good throw from McNulty into Casares. Comes apart though in there. Miami getting set. Tough sledding in there. Another tough attempt there, but they cannot get through. Sharks looking to strike first here. Played back into the hands of Casares. Looking for his first try of the season. Still with a chance. Ball comes out of there. Played into the hands there of Beckerman. Penalty, and it's going to be called for not releasing on the tackle.
Good initial defense from LA, was just trying to pick up the number who actually the rip was. Once the tackle is made, you then can't start ripping the ball away. That's why the penalty was given. And I'm just wondering now whether Shane O'Leary lines this one up and goes for the post. It looks like a very easy 3 points, particularly for a man who's been kicking at just above 80% this season. Really, really impressed. So good to see Shane O'Leary back as well, because I know he's had injury problems at the beginning of this season, also towards the end of last season. He's a fantastic talent, usually at number 10, but finding himself at 15 and actually has been a really, really good threat, but also composure to the Miami attack, particularly when he's scoring points.
64 points, a career high for him, and it's a bit of a different situation here with these goalposts, Will. They're at the back of the try zone on that back line, and obviously the height not what they normally are, so the ARs eye that one up, and it is good. And O'Leary gives Miami the first points here on this Sunday afternoon, 3-0.
Yes, so for viewers, make sure that you understand that the try line is still very much the try line, but the goalposts are sitting on the dead ball line. That is a player safety arrangement because of the structure of the goalposts in terms of having the behind metal, therefore wanting to make sure that it's not in danger of being with, well, anywhere near the players if they were to score a try in that zone.
Correct. Miami right back with it now. Smith in there, a little bit of a charge down, but the kick is released. And the big man, Semi Kunatani, here he comes. A little hop goose step from him. Slowed up, wrestled down to the turf. And this one picked up, and look at the big fella going for LA. That's a big carry from Haney. Ollie Haney, the loose head. Smith gets in there. Here's Meeks now with it. Played it ball off into the hands there of Coe. Coe driving his way down. Kunatani in there now. Spills out the back, and Heaton played it on. LA looking to counter here in the 17th minute, down 3-0. Quick ball to the inside, picked up. Trying to get that ball back was Ben Sugars, but Luke Rogan will whistle this. And he takes a look at his watch to see where we're at. Not quite time for the hydration break just yet.
I'm just wondering whether he was going to look for his pocket.
I thought the same initially.
As we look away to where it came from, the big man, Heaney, the Irish American. He was probably had no idea the amount of space he had. He probably didn't know what to do. But good to see the big man having a trot upfield. Great yards from him. He's really stepped up. When I've said about the injuries that they've had in the front row, well, Alessandro Heaney has honestly, he's played minutes upon minutes, and he's really delivered in the loose as well. Good work from the prop as LA have this penalty. Looks like they're going to go quickly. 7 meters out from the Miami line. That's been an area for LA. They at one point, they had 6 props they were without. Next man up mentality. Got to in this sport. Miami trying to win the battle in there. Heaton plays it off. Billy Meeks runs into a brick wall. Back for Smith now. Smith got it free from the base. Miami, good job by McDonald there. The tight head prop slowing up the carrier. Heaton plays it on. Kunatani now. Kunatani flings it outside to the edge. Isaacs plays it out, and a terrific ball delivered right into the waiting hands of Andrew Coe, and it's a try for Los Angeles. It is Andrew Coe who gets into the corner, but it's the big man, Semi Kunatani, trying to bring him down's a nightmare. And particularly if he keeps his arms free, that basketball-style offload, drawing all the defenders in, getting it out to the width. Isaacs just does the 2-on-1 really comfortably. And there you go, Andrew Coe in the corner. But it was the big Fijian with the offload that really started that. 4th try of the season for Andrew Coe.
He's been in and out of the lineup, kind of like Reese McDonald. He's been more in than he's been out. McDonald is in the reserves today, as you pointed out in the open of the show. So he's only got one try this year. He's been hurt, had a hamstring injury. They get him back and healthy. Look out if this LA side gets in the postseason.
Look out indeed, but also this back three's been going very well though.
Yep.
Ko has had plenty of meters. Van Voot has played really well, and I've been really impressed by Isaacs at fullback so far.
He's been really good the last few weeks, and here's the conversion attempt, and drifting to the left, it'll stay a 5-3 count off the foot there of Leatli Ifano. So that will be the hydration break, says our referee Luke Rogan. Andrew Ko, the proud Canadian, has RFC LA on top of Miami here. The midway point of the first half, 5-3.
In an ever-changing landscape where every decision matters, our mission is clear: to delight our customers at every turn. At Globant, we create the digital products everybody loves and empower global brands by building impactful solutions for millions of people. Our studio networks are responsible for creating experiences that leave a lasting impact, building AI-powered business solutions tailored to each industry, empowering brands with a blend of creativity, strategy, and technology, enhancing efficiency and accelerating breakthroughs with a unique AI model and agents for software development, boosting productivity with cutting-edge tech and implementation services with market-leading partners. Driven by technology and passion, we dare to go far, we dare to go fast, we dare to disrupt. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
Miami Sharks and RFC LA. Sharks there with the 3. They got the O'Leary penalty kick in the 15th, but a try in the 18th from Andrew Ko has LA on top 5-3. And we've talked about Semi Kunatani a lot here today, and that's another player. We just mentioned Reese McDonald. If this guy gets more involved, that is major problem for the opposition.
Oh, 100%. And I've talked to Steve Hoyles in the past, I've spoken to Sam Harris as well, about just how good that guy is when he gets going. They haven't seen the absolute best of it. Hasn't necessarily had the full fitness this season in comparison to last year. But we just saw there from the try, ultimately hit from his assist, how much of a threat. It's so hard to bring the big man down, and he always keeps the ball alive, which, guess what, plays into what LA want to do. They want to keep it alive, keep the tempo, and that's how they're scoring tries.
34 years young is Kunatani, gold medalist in the 2016 Olympics with those flying Fijians. 6'4" and 265. I can't believe he's not. I thought he was bigger. 6'4" seems a little under what he is, but that's what they list him as.
Maybe they've got it slightly wrong. Maybe the tape measure wasn't working properly that day, because I think he's bigger than 6'4" as well. He towers over lots of people.
Yeah, he's massive.
He is a great player to watch, and yeah, I hope for LA's sake we see the best of him towards the back end of this season and beyond into the playoffs.
Here's a line out right at halfway here for Sean McNulty in Miami. Let's see what their response is. They give up that try. Big, heavy collision there. At the back now, it's Tomas Inciarte. 5 Tomases on this Miami side. South African flair to it. Head coach Jose Pellicina, Argentinian. Now LA pushing back. Miami, though, still possessing it. O'Leary. Fend off there against Chan. Chan in Australia last year. He's been a part of that back line. Will mention they've been steady and solid back there. Last few weeks he's been in the starting 15. Good ball movement here. There's Isaacs getting to the ball carrier first. Played out there by Inciarte. Nowhere to go. Good defensive work from LA. Try the short side once again. Played back for Bonasso. Battling away in there in the breakdown. Inciarte looking left, plays it to the left. Tomas Casares, the carry there, down on the floor, and diving in there was LA, but Rogan with a call here.
Diving in there, Matt Heaton.
Yep.
As I already said at the beginning of this game, the Canadian It's good to see him properly back on the field, getting minutes, because he is a nuisance. I've played against him, honestly. He is. He's all over the ball. He gets turnovers. If it's a 50-50, he's the first one to dive on it. And the Canadian international going up against Benny Bonasso, a USA Eagle. And I'm thinking to myself, are we seeing potentially Canada versus USA is going to be a World Cup qualifier in the summer, or later on this year, I should say. And it's just, you're seeing a little glimpse as to a Canadian going up against an American in the same position. But good work from LA just to keep the Miami attack at bay. The strip, unfortunately, being knocked forward. And you mentioned how the fact that, yes, it's contrasting styles of play, because Miami do kick a lot more than LA. But actually, when Miami start attacking inside the half of LA, they play similar. They want to play quickly, relatively unstructured. As I say, they want to try and get the offloading game going. That's the unstructured attack, which they feel they really benefit from. So they've got plenty of threats in their back line. Videla at 12 is a really good operator, playing alongside the experience of Orlando, the Argentinian international, at 13. Yeah, Miami can cook.
They can. They can. Here's the put in on the scrum here from Inciarte. Zips it right into the middle of the park, coming with speed, with pace. There's Orlando, good carry out of him, but LA comes up with a ball. Shan got in there, helped get it free, and now a kick and a chase and a bounce. Miami back there to play it. Good footwork back there, trying to get free there, the carry. Milanos had the ball in his hand. Penalty called against LA, not rolling away in time.
Milanos did so well in that situation there. Being chased heavily by Vaughan Isaacs. The winger for Miami was really on his own and had to use his footwork just to buy himself some time. Bit of a sloppy penalty from LA. When you have that kind of pressure, a good kick, good exit from the transition that they got. Miami, they're not making touch, so LA get it back. Yeah, good opportunity here and a big carry all the way out near halfway. Taz Smith in there and today for Gonzalo Bertrano. We touched on that earlier. Reached the limit on cards, and he has to sit out here. Jason Dom. Couple meters. Great ball offloaded. Look out. Here comes LA. Looking for help. The kick, though, and that was Smith with it, and he kicked it. But nobody there to get it for LA. But Kunatani gets in there and gets on Elias near the line. And I believe we got a call here from Rogan. It's a penalty to Miami.
Yeah.
Just when LA again struck. And similar to Heaney going through the middle, keep an eye on Billy Meeks. He's so good at this. He just sees the gap. A little gap for then get his arms away, and he finds Taz Smith. Great work from the scrum half for that support line. Good option to kick it through, but once again, LA put themselves in a great position, but then gave a penalty away. Here's Isaacs now into the hands of Coe. He's got the only try in the match here so far. Andrew Coe in the 18th minute. As LA on top by 2 points. Semi Kunatani greeted there nicely by Marcus Foalam. No easy mission. Foalam made a good tackle on him there. Smith back for Meeks. Shan takes on 2. Smith. Everybody to that side of the park, plays it back into the hands of Haney. Smith to it again. Billy Meeks. Little look off there, plays it in. That's Nafe. Nafe, look at the big tight head rumble. LA coming at him again here. Knocking on the door. Zipped outside by Van Voot, played into the hands of Anstey. Great addition for this LA side this season. A couple of tries, been very valuable in so many parts of their game. Smith. Now Meeks. Haney. He's getting a workload here in the first half, is number 1, the loose end prop, Haney. Carry there from Jason Dom. Meeks thought about it, kept it, tried to slice through 2. Smith back into the hands of Nafe. Now Matt Heaton. Big collision there with his counterpart, Ben Bonasso. Van Voot.
Trying to wrestle the big prop down. They get him to ground. Smith now. Played that ball on. Lealifano. Smith works it free again. Haney again.
Insane work rate for the big man.
Right? I mean, he's got a handful of carries already here. Spun free, Van Buren, now Meeks, Billy Meeks plays it off, Cole, plays it back, and a beautiful ball, just mentioned, Tim Anstey, and a terrific passage of play from LA. They've got a second try and lead it 10-3.
This is lovely from LA. It's so good. Just keep an eye on two-time back of the year Billy Meeks, because he controls this whole attack. He decides when he wants the ball out the back to attack this wide channel. And look how all the defenders bite in. It's a really good play, a good ball from Van Buren at the line. Then Billy Meeks just opens up into space. They go in on Billy, it opens therefore out wide. Some great handling. But that, I'm telling you, was all from the number 12. The time to pull the trigger, go out the back. Good hands in the end from, I think that was number 14, Andrew Coe. And then, yeah, Tim Anstey gets the try. But for me, that's all Billy Meeks.
Beautifully done. Third of the season, as I mentioned, for Tim Anstey. He and Timpson. Timpson not in the lineup today. But these two guys, I mean, they have been massive. Not huge try numbers for Anstey, but he's been really good for them every time. And you and I have had them a lot here this season on our broadcast. He has been terrific. Here's the conversion attempt, and this kick looks good, and it is, and it's 12-3 RFCLA after the try, the third of the season for that man, Tim Anstey.
And the other reason that they've been so good, Ben, is because the style of play that LA are playing really suits their back row. I mean, literally, Timpson has been a workhorse. He's everywhere in the loose, and he wants to attack himself. He's good with the ball in hand. It's the same for Tim Anstey as well. He has the ability, he has a sevens background, he has a big engine on him. As much as these guys are also physical, they're actually more about evading challenges. They're more about getting some footwork involved and getting themselves in space. And I think that has literally just been a story of RFCLA's attack, and the back row have really, well, they played their part.
Yes, and they played it pretty well so far. So 12-3 here in the 28th minute. Miami needs a counter here, down by 9. Big win for them last week at home against New England, the Free Jacks. Old Glory got them yesterday. 2 weeks left to go. The Eastern Conference, where Miami, of course, trying to lock up the 4th and final spot, is absolutely tight. It's going to be a battle for those top couple spots, and this is a turnover ball going to LA.
Keep an eye on Miami's bench, though, later on in this match. It's no disrespect to the team they picked to start this game today, but there has been changes. And you just think that, speaking with Jose Pellicena, look, there is a thought Friday next week is San Diego at home. And if they win that game, that equally could probably put them in the playoffs. Not to say that they're not trying to win this game today.
Correct.
But you know what I'm saying? It's, it's
the
use of the squad.
You got to manage it. It's different with games on days that this league is not seen played on. The unbalanced amount of teams had to move some things around, and that's why we're having some of these midweek matches here. Here's Coe with a take, nicely done. Andrew's been sharp, got a try, had that last pass, the try assist. I'm still gonna say it, I think that should be a stat in this sport. You set up a try, you should get a point. That was a beautiful play as Will took us through from Meeks, and then Coe into the hands of Anstey. Here's Meeks again. Van Voot gave it off. Into the 30th minute here. Isaacs outside, right into the bucket there, into the hands of Andrew Coe. Taz Smith, line is set. Miami love to turn him over here, trying to get the offload. They do, into the hands of Malu Nafe. Lealifano got his feet turning and moving. There's Van Voot. He did that a lot last week. Got in there and got the ball out. playing a bit of 9. Now Miami gonna opt to kick here. They bang one down. Good kick. Zipped into the middle, and Chan now, he'll pop it down with the right. Got an injured Miami player right there in the middle of your screen we play on for the time being. Ball takes a Miami bounce. Sharks get there, and they get it. Inciarte. Trying to find that space there to let Videla get down there. But it's Isaacs with it in his hands for LA now. Miami. Nope. Rogan says not so fast. We got a call.
Just trying to work out what the referee was calling that penalty for, as unfortunately we can't pick up the ref mic as it stands at the moment. And that was pretty exhausting, that whole passage of play. The kicking, it started off with a pretty loose kick from Taz Smith, giving that territory, or ball possession I should say, to Miami, and then we got in a bit of a kicking duel. Inciarte with a really good kick into that corner. I thought the counter ruck looked pretty good from Miami.
Yeah.
But looks at what the referee was saying, it was slightly in at the side right at the end and a hand in the ruck, which you are not allowed to do. But it was marginal. A good bit of pressure from Miami, just letting LA off the hook with that. But it's hotly contested stuff, and the ball's in play a long time.
9-point match here in the 32nd. Line out for LA, deep, they turn it over. Now Miami, here they come on the attack, looking to get into the try zone for the first time. Good carry here from Orlando. See his skill and his experience. Inciarte, pick and go. Kunatani's on him. Knocking on the door. Right there. Sharks trying to get it down to ground. Rogan there, no call yet. Pick it up from the back again. That's going to be held up, but the play continues. LA trying to get bodies over to the left, and it's a call against Miami. No, it's a try. Beg your pardon. They get it down. So the Sharks get one to ground in there, and they get a 5-pointer here to make it a 4-point match.
About to say, Ben, we're trying to work out with that try line being where it is and the post being on the dead ball. But I think they get this just down. Is it over the top from Mark? Well, I think it's from Fulau, the number 8. As we have a look. Sorry, it's Fulau who goes for that last-ditch attempt. And then just watch this over the top of the ruck. And the ball just getting down. In the end from Beckerman, the number 6, usually his predominant position is hooker, finds himself a blindside flanker today, and that is an important try for the Sharks.
Sure is. 4-point match here. Now into the 34th minute. That conversion has us now at 12-10. So this Miami side, again, won 5 of their last 6. They have found their rhythm. They found their groove. They said, talking to their head coach and Sean McNulty, they said they really had to get back to their culture and the way of doing things. And they did that after that 4th consecutive loss against New England. And they have been one of the hottest teams in the league. Here comes the big man, Semi Kunatani. It's a lot of boy coming at you. Gets about a 10, 12-meter pickup. Matt Heaton now. Andrew Coe has been dazzling here so far. Now Chan near the line, but gets back inside. Gets some separation from it. Another carry there from Nafe. Smith. Luke Rogan with the whistle. And a call.
Offside's the call, so it's penalty against LA. There must have been something at that ruck which LA were maybe penalised for, so that's why we're coming back to a penalty in RFC LA's favour. Good chance for Leo Lefano to get this inside the 22, which he does. Albeit we're having some tricky sighting of the post and where the try line is. I've got to say, I really like this venue though in Orange County. It looks smart, very good grass field, a good turnout as well. So for RFC LA, their last home game of the season.
Yeah, from 1943 to 1999. Rogan doesn't like what he sees here. It was Marine Corps Air Station El Toro, and they've transformed it into a public park in Orange County. 28% of the park is what the entire base was. Certainly thinking of all those Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S. and did not know that. Did some reading on it earlier today. Thought that was a pretty cool fact about where they're playing. And Jason Dom told us, he said, we trained here a week ago. Captain's run was not there, so they got a feel. He said the pitch is absolutely pristine.
It absolutely looks like it as well. It's clearly predominantly a soccer field. So maybe there's an element of being a little bit tighter soccer fields, maybe not having the same width as a rugby field, but nonetheless, I'm just pleased to see a grass pitch. I'm always a fan of grass.
So Miami coming up with the ball. Had the scrum. Luke Rogan not liking what he's seeing in there from LA. So big shift here. Miami now coming up on 4 to play in the half. They got a chance to make a march here and get the lead in this match.
Referee just penalizing, I think, here, for just standing up. Just when you think that you got the shove on, and the referee just penalizing LA in that position as, there you go, Shane O'Leary can just gain another few meters. So it's a 2-point game, and got to say, LA, in my opinion, I need to probably see the stat in front of me, but certainly more of a territory has been in their favor. But Miami have struck. Every time they got inside the 22 of LA, they come away with points.
Here's the line out now from the Sharks. In the hands of their try scorer, Tomas Beckerman, formerly of the Dallas Jackals as well. They got a handful of former Dallas guys on this Miami side. In the middle there is Mauro Rebisone, the lock, number 5. Sharks still moving it forward. Inciarte now. They're trying to wrestle him down to ground. They do. Lays it back. 3 minutes and counting remaining in the half. Final round and final match in round 15 here today. Coe up to get it. Immediately to ground he went. Taz Smith back for Meeks. Skyward it goes. O'Leary waits and takes. Returning the favor is Shane O'Leary. Good job on that take back there from LA. Penalty on Miami though. Here they go, the tap and go. They love this. Van Voot's got it. Smith now gets in. He'll go to work trying to operate a push down the pitch here for RFC LA. Kunatani. Now Meeks. Shan. Vaughan Isaacs. He'll kick one here. Hops off the turf, set up for him, but Miami getting to it. O'Leary with his fellow Canadian Andrew Coe. They collide, and Andrew Coe in LA comes up with it. They got the pill back here. Kunatani now. One hand on the ball. Look at the big man go. Semi Kunatani flings it over the top. Heaton gets in there. Miami in there as well. But Miami comes up with it. 90 seconds and counting remaining here in the half now. All they can do is Dom try to get a piece of that. And it finds touch here on the near side.
Semi Kunatani, we've seen the best of him and then sometimes the worst. Look at that footwork. Leaves Miami for dead, but then it's this offload. Speculative. I think that's the best word to use.
Good word.
It's the NBA East to West Coast Finals, and I've talked to him before how I think he could play basketball, but that was loose.
It's like Shaquille O'Neal out there playing rugby. My goodness, here comes LA now. Final minute here of this first half. Outside edge over the top. Coe got one try. Set up the other for Los Angeles. Smith now. LA love to get one here to close out this half. Good carry there from the hooker Sugars. Billy Meeks now. Dummies, keeps it. Popped and dropped. Coe gets in there. He dummies, looking in the direction of Chan. Smith now. Kunatani. Little short dummy from him. He had Van Voot. Smith now. Working it back into the middle of the park. Now Meeks. Speed coming there into the hands of Van Buren. Smith. 15 meters out is LA. Van Voot initially greeted there by Martin Elias. Jason Dom pulls it free, plays it back for Nafe. Sharks trying to hold up. Dom with it in his hands. 3 tries in his last 2 matches. Now Kunitani using the body, using the strength. Ball's knocked free, but they pick it up and they get to it. But it's going to come back. And that is the end of the half. So LA will made a serious threat, but Miami withstands. We got a 2-point match here at halftime.
We have indeed, and I think Miami will be happy enough to get into the locker room knowing that it's only 2 points, because LA were knocking on the door, and Semi Kunitani again, such a threat, getting over the gain line, making meters, but just knocking that ball on, going forward, letting the Sharks off the hook. Look, there's plenty of attacking rugby. It's still tight. For LA, they'll be wanting to make more of their chances. For Miami, they'll be wanting to get back into this game.
Orange County, the site of the final round 15 match of the weekend. Andrew Coe on the board, setting up a second try to Anstey. The Sharks trying to get into the postseason and lead 5. They're down by 2 here at halftime.
My name is Jensen Gluski. I play for Seattle Seawolves, and my position is prop. My grooming routine, my wife probably wouldn't be happy with this answer. It's once a month, maybe less. This is probably one of the longest I've let my beards grow, honestly. Started growing it last season and just had little tiny trims here and there, so coming up on a year of length. The worst beard in the league? Connor Keys. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's got a good beard. He's more of a goatee kind of guy, though. And I've been using Beard Guy's beard wash every day when I get done with training. It's just always nice to kind of clean the beard out, get it feeling nice and clean, smells fresh. Definitely a big fan of the beard wash. How's it look, my guy?
I think we good to go, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Beard Guys, MLR approved.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This one's fire.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown.
A one-stop shop for all rugby lovers, from unparalleled access, big-name interviews, and special features.
I'm Alana Marr.
Jocko here.
We've got you covered.
Beyond the try-line lies a world to be discovered. New cultures, new friendships, new experiences. Grow as a player and as a person. Build bonds to last a lifetime. Your adventure starts now. Visit Inspire Sport to learn more and book your team rugby tour.
Halftime continues. Ben Holden and Will Hooley will step back in the next segment, but right now, here to tell you that LA is on top of Miami 12-10. Los Angeles trying to get up into the 3rd spot, potentially with a win and a bonus point in the West. Nobody's clinched in the West yet. In the East, Miami, with a bonus point win, they would lock up their first ever playoff spot. Long way to go. Back with Will. We'll look around the league and a lot more right after this.
In an ever-changing landscape where every decision matters, our mission is clear: to delight our customers at every turn. At Globant, we create the digital products everybody loves and empower global brands by building impactful solutions for millions of people. Our studio networks are responsible for creating experiences that leave a lasting impact, building AI-powered business solutions tailored to each industry, empowering brands with a blend of creativity, strategy, and technology, enhancing efficiency and accelerating breakthroughs with a unique AI model and agents for software development, boosting productivity with cutting-edge tech and implementation services with market-leading partners. Driven by technology and passion, we dare to go far, we dare to go fast, we dare to disrupt. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
Yo. Yeah. Oh my god. This one's fire.
RFC LA, their final home match here in 2025. They're playing at the Great Park in Irvine, California, out there in Orange County, taking on Miami in a big match for both these clubs, both in the thick of the playoff race. And so far at halftime, LA has a 2-point lead on Miami. Well, Will, round 15 got going on Friday night. Nick Boyer in Seattle, another win. They beat the top team in the West, Houston.
Seattle getting good at the right time of the season. An epic game at Starfire, finished off low scoring, but for Seattle, that is a big, big win, 14 points to 9.
Sure is, because right now they're sitting in third in the West, and then Utah, they're back into a tie point-wise with Houston, their big win last night.
Big win last night, a big first half. In the second half, it was all about Nola, who nearly came back. But the Warriors held on, and they get themselves towards the top of the tree in the West.
They do, and our halftime segment here brought to you by No Cap Soda Pop, and there are all the scores. But how about Old Glory going into Fort Quincy? They hadn't lost in 11. They swept the season series.
Oh, man, what a win. Old Glory, gotta say, they're going about their business.
They
and
are.
I will be the first one to admit that I haven't picked them that many times. And my word, have some fans let me know about it over the last 24 hours. So, great win for them. New England, of course, still at the top, though, of the East, but Old Glory catching up.
They are 46 points, 44 for Chicago. Let's not forget about them. And 44 for Old Glory. And Chicago with a great rebound after that Monday night match you and I called against RFC LA that LA won at the death. And here are the standings. I mean, nobody's clinched in the West yet.
It's madness, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, it's great to see as the neutral, but then if you are any one of those fans in the West, you are squeaky bum time, aren't you? You really are. I mean, San Diego on a bye week. Los Angeles can move up the table with a win today. San Diego could find themselves at the bottom. But hey, it's still so to play for with another couple of weeks of Major League Rugby regular season to come.
And the Miami Sharks, as we've told you throughout the broadcast, they get 5 today. They would lock up a playoff spot. The 4 would be in the East, but still 2 weeks to go. There could be a lot of movement. We'll see how this one plays out, because the second half is coming your way. After a short timeout, we'll come back to Orange County, California. 12-10 RFC LA on top of Miami. Welcome back to the great park, Irvine, California, Orange County. Ben Holden, Will Hooley, all of our crew. And a tight one here, Will, is LA trying to move themselves up in that Western Conference. We just showed you just 8 points separating LA from the top 2 in the conference, Houston and Utah. And the numbers brought to us by Sportable, the Miami Sharks and RFC LA. What grabs your eyes the most?
Well, I talked about the territory and the possession definitely being in RFC LA's favor, but they only have a 2-point lead. Look at the tackles, though, that Miami are having to make. And that is the stat that Chicago had against them last week, which also Miami have against them now. Will they tire as this game goes on? Because when an opposition's tired, that is when LA strike. Very interesting second 40 to come. LA, only a 2-point lead, but they sit pretty much in the driving seat.
Chicago, to your point, 252 tackles they had to make in the last match against LA. In the end, there were numerous chances for them to stop. Here's Miami. Great looking kits they've got. Second year, they were 6-10 last year. They win and get a bonus point today. They lock up a playoff spot. A lot goes into this sport. So much goes into it. And to be 2 years, knocking on the door, that says this organization is doing things the right way. Well,
look, Miami they really believe in their culture this year. It's something that Pellicino has said. South Americans and the Americans coming together, and they fight for each other. And it's shown in the last handful of weeks that they will feel very comfortable in this position as well. As much as I say LA in the driving seat, the Sharks, though, they know how to fight back.
It's the second time these two clubs have gotten together. Both meetings have been in LA. Scrum coming up here. Luke Rogan's our referee. We do apologize. Audio issues with Rogan's mic. Our folks are working on it. You know how much people that watch this sport love to hear that. You get the insights. You get to hear the referee talking to the players. There we go. Right on cue. It worked.
Welcome back, Luke Rogan.
Job by Rich and all our audio folks. Great to hear Luke's voice. The magic of television. Here's a call against Miami. They yanked that down. And LA now. Ball in the hands of Vaughan Isaacs.
Good work there from Nafe. The tight head prop, number 3 for LA. It's great to see him back. He was back on Monday night against Chicago. He had a very strong game. A former New Zealand under-20s man. Just a big body, great round the park, good at set piece. If LA want to continue heading into the playoffs to play well, they need their number 3 fit.
No question about it. LA with possession. Matt Heaton took a big shot. Miami starting to make some substitutions, Will. We talked about it at the outset. Sean McNulty's come out at the hooker spot. Kirby Myhill. Both men, they've just rotated really seemingly week after week this season.
I also look at Manuel Ardao wearing number 20.
Yep.
He's also come into the fray. Taz Smith, though, injects the tempo.
Here comes Meeks now. Tackle taken down to ground was Billy Meeks. 6 tries for Billy on the season. Backwards into space. LA gets to it. Taz Smith getting the nod here at 9 today. No Gonzalo Bertrano. Got a card last week in that dramatic, thrilling victory that LA had on the Monday night match against Chicago on the road. Chicago bouncing back, defeating Anthem yesterday. Loose piece of equipment down on the pitch. There's Tim Anstey. Carry from him. Had the second LA try in the first half. 3rd of the season.
Fixers stood up in the way and affected the clean out. That's why you've got on it.
There, you can see Kulamatangi, you thought number 18 for Miami had a great steal, but Beckerman was in the way, so that's why the tackler has got to clear away from that breakdown. Listen to the referee just here.
Side of the ruck, which is causing the effect of you guys getting over the ball. As we spoke about pre-game, you guys want to jackal, that has to be clear. Have a chat to your boys, we've got to clear that space. Okay? I will.
There we go, Luke Rogan just spelling it out. If you wanted to try and compete at the ball, you've got to have the tackler roll away. Not being involved in the breakdown, preventing then the RFC LA player from trying to clear out the Miami player. That is why it's a penalty to LA.
Luke Rogan, our referee, his 12th match of 2025. In the middle, most of any referee to this point in the competition. ARs, Khalil Harrison, Kirk Swanner, Cam Russell on site with Will and I here in Indy. So great opportunity here in the early going of this second half. Los Angeles.
Access is okay. There was
Sugars, the hooker, at the back after the throw in. To ground it goes. Sugars picks it. Smith trying to help push.
He's clearing him out. He stood there. He's clearing him out.
LA knocking on the door once again. Short, low ball. Nowhere to go. Kunatani went to ground. Now another push here from Sugars.
If we go back that way, let me know, Phil. If we go back the other way.
Another carry from Nafe, the tight head prop, number 3 for LA.
A reminder, they're only 2 meters out here.
Yep.
2 meters out from the try line.
They are right there on the edge. Jason Dom
That's fine.
wrestled down there. O'Leary in there fighting away with him and company.
Ball's available. Turnovers quick. Let go.
And Miami comes away with a stand. What a stop from Miami. At the line, they kick it short. It goes. Isaacs. Now Chan offload. Van Voot. He's down. Rory Van Voot. 6 tries on the season for Van Voot.
Wow. And it's a try for Van Voot, but it's disaster for Miami. As things are boiling over, we apologize for any bad language you might have heard. And also not really good for an LA water boy to get involved as well, if I'm honest. But as the players try and settle it up, this was a disaster turnover and kick from Miami. Let's just listen to Luke Rogan though now.
Matt!
Calling for Matt Heaton, the LA captain, is Luke Rogan. That little kerfuffle ended quickly there. But Rogan wants Jason Dom, who's
I'm happy he stood up on the wrong side of the ruck, mate.
their captain. Let's listen in.
Okay, so for me, he's on the wrong side of the ruck and he's able to be cleaned out. Okay, so there's no foul. There's no foul play there for me at the moment. Okay, what we don't need and what is unacceptable, your player coming from where he did to do what he did, and then your players rushing in as well. Okay, this stops now. Okay, you're going to have a chat to your player who came in. I think it was what number it is. Okay, if he does it again, he's going to the bin. Same with your players. I don't want them running from that distance and coming in. Chat to both. Stops now. Okay. The push and shove there, it stops now, okay? We've had a good game up to this point, no more. Not for me, no.
Simple and direct as always.
He's on that side of the ruck, he's got to get out.
No clear foul play, he was on the wrong side of the ruck and got cleaned out.
Time back on. Yeah, thank you, Cam.
Another voice you heard was Cam Russell chiming in. Let's look back here, Will, at the entire sequence here.
It was a great turnover. Counter ruck was great. And then Martin Elias, I think he just did not see Vogan Isaacs. He's gone for the cross kick, and it lands straight into Isaacs' hands. Good bit of offloading, but that is just a gift, an absolute gift. And, well, Miami weren't happy about things. I think they weren't happy with things a few phases before, but they're probably just annoyed with giving LA a try. Simple try away just there.
What number is that?
Big kick here on the conversion coming up. Christian Lealifano, the strike with the right, looks good on the way. Sneaks inside there, and that's good. So it's a 9-point lead, a 2-possession match now at 19-10 in favor of RFC LA. And there's the man that took it in the 46th, Rory Van Voot. 6 tries on the season for him now.
Probably one of the most underestimated players of the season. And that's probably me saying I'm underestimating him. I'm sure no one in LA is underestimating Rory Van Voot. Certainly Sam Harris told us earlier in the week when we caught up with him and saying how impressed he has been with Rory Van Voot, the most consistent player in that LA team. And he gets a try there, another try on his season. He really has been impressive on the wing for Los Angeles.
Came into round 15, 4th in the league, almost 800 meters gained. Here comes Miami now. Sharks looking for a response. Josiah Moore, and now you got Kubeli in there running as the 9, wearing 21. Part of those finishers that we talked about at the outset of the show. Our Dow is in there. They've still got Giuseppe Toy, Marcos Young, guys they can call on that are real big threats. Penalty call here going the way of LA. Tap and go here from Taz Smith now. Bangs it down the middle of the park now. Tracked down back there by the Sharks. O'Leary thought about it, keeps it. Shane O'Leary now gets some space.
Does well.
Yeah, to the 22. Sent back down by LA. LA is also subbed into the match. The dangerous Reese McDonald McDonald wearing number 23 today. Just one try on the season for him. It came against Utah. Here's O'Leary. Near the edge, cutting back in there was Ben Bonasso. Miami looking to counter back here, down 9. Anstey, perfect form on the tackle. Belly freed it. Again, running as their scrum half now. Pick and go, now looks for help. Finds it, Kirby Myhill. He's checked into the match as well. Mentioned that earlier. McNulty's come out. Trying to use some of that depth and some really good players. Bonasso with another carry there for Miami. Kubeli. Myhill, good carry from Kirby Myhill. Gets it back. Kubeli finding Rebisone. Little handoff there of the ball while he's down. That's legal, no problems there. Picked up here into the hands of Orlando. Miami. Back into the hands of O'Leary. On the edge, played out, gathered in. Good hands out there by Mora. Mora now. It's a little bit of breathing room. Nice job to get around one. Whoa, what an arm there to Kunatani. About 12 meters away is Miami. Spun free, coming with speed. That's going to be a whistle from Rogan, and that's tough to take if you're Miami.
It was really good play from Miami. They were building phases, they were moving forward, and it was just a pass, I think, behind the player, then enforced the knock-on. But really powerful, good work from Mora, the Canadian sevens man on the wing. I really was impressed last week when he played against the Free Jacks, his ability aerially, but they're showing his ability, his power to give a stiff arm to Semi Kunatani.
Right.
Of all people.
Yeah.
He is a big frame, Kunatani, but the 11 for Miami really put him on his back. So I think Kunatani's coming off, maybe.
Yeah, he is, and an injured Miami player will ID said player. We get a chance here around him and training staff out there, and there's the big man, the Fijian Semi Kunatani. Checked out of the match here in the 51st minute.
Just wondering whether maybe something happened to Kunatani. Lucas Burr comes on.
Yep.
Former Dallas Jackals man.
Good. Yeah.
More of a second row, though, rather than a back rower for LA. So maybe just losing a little bit of dynamism with some Semi Kunatani off the field. Because now we have a look back there on Mora. Let's just watch the way he just gets this fend off. Kunatani, it was towards the head area, but fair play. Just Kunatani was upright and not the biggest man on the field.
Right in the chops he got him.
And that's the kind of fight that Miami are going to have to show. It was good, patient attack, liking the way that Kubeli, he's coming onto the field. Miami's number 21. Just injecting that tempo I'm using a lot today, but honestly, it's where both these attacks do well, LA's and Miami's. I'm seeing definitely the fact that now there's some experience on the field. Kirby Myhill with a good breakaway. Kubeli on, Ardau on. Miami, you would say, at the moment, pretty much have their best 15 on the field.
They do, and Luke Rogan just told LA, he said, you do it again, I'm going to free kick you. Warnings being issued in there. Scrum coming up here for LA. Taz Smith can't get to it, get anything going here.
Under pressure, standing up.
That was fantastic work for Muti, the number 1, piled through, and then it was LA under the pressure, then stood up. As Kubeli clearly coming onto the field and taking the captaincy, has said to Shane O'Leary, step up and take 3 points. Reasonably good tactic, I think, for the Sharks. Make a visit inside the 22, come away with points.
The line.
As actually, it looks like Videla is going to step up and take this.
Well, would get him to 6, get it back to a 1-possession game here. Santiago, 9 of 11 for 82% on the season. Did a lot of kicking last year. It was 22 out of 31, 71% for the Chilean international. Set the strike here, as I like to say, a chip shot right in front. Easy little swing of the right leg. And it's now 19-13 on the penalty kick.
A good goal kicker, Videla. I'm sure I've mentioned it in broadcast before, but USA fans will remember that man when he played for Chile.
Yeah.
And he basically kicked Chile into the World Cup after the qualifier against the US back in 2023. And then we know what happened to the Eagles that year, not qualifying for the World Cup. Chile went on to play in France in 2023. So if it does come down to it, even though then it looks like O'Leary is not on the field anymore, or certainly not taking any kicks anymore, Videla is definitely capable.
Very capable.
High tackle. Head on head.
Yep, high tackle called by Luke Rogan there, looking right at Matt Heaton.
Both head to head.
Heaton always takes no step back, but in terms of on Beckerman, we just watch here, it's the secondary tackler, yeah. It's always the case. Double tackles, someone goes low and someone tries to lock the ball up, goes a little bit higher. That secondary tackler, that's where you've got to be the most careful. If you are that secondary tackler, if you are an upright, trying to keep hold of that ball, preventing the offload, you've got to be aware you can't get any shoulder or head anywhere near the head and neck area of the ball carrying player. That's where, unfortunately, but rightfully, Matt Heaton has got penalised.
Line out coming up here for Miami.
We're good? Yeah, subscript.
Kirby Myhill running as the hooker now for the Sharks.
Stay there, Ben, just stop. Stay there.
Miami down 6. Good job to get the jumper up there. Myhill gets in there under his right arm. Taken out of there and sent skyward here by Tomas Kubeli. Take back there from Coe. Long pass into the hands of the dangerous Reese McDonald. One try of the year. Here goes McDonald. Reese McDonald. Big pickup for McDonald. 10 meters over halfway. You see the impact. He can ignite this side in an instant.
Ripped out before he's hit the ground, and it's backwards off Pink. High on.
Down on the deck.
No on ball. Ball's out. Yep.
Laid back. Lucas Bird played it back. McDonald, the dummy. Hamstring had been bothering him the last few weeks. Cleared to go this week. Smith turns, plays it back. To it again. Billy Meeks now. On the run, trying to strip that ball out of there was Miami. Unable to do it though. Work back, Andrew Coe. Very involved in this match today on both sides. Smith back for Meeks. Haney, big man's had a half-dozen carries in this match. Smith frees it. Now Meeks. Big shot delivered there on Nick Chan. LA now from halfway.
No, now 20, let go, let it go now.
Ardao in there, battling away, and Rogan with a whistle here.
And I love it. I absolutely love it by the Uruguayan. Just wait for Luke Rogan just to have a chat. But I just loved the way how he never gave up. He didn't get the poach, but he tried to just counter Rock enough to put Taz Smith off, and that is where the knock-on came. But I wonder whether it was after that, then he was penalised. So hold on, let's just wait to hear what the referee has to say.
Cam, can you hear me, mate? Yeah, so I've got, at the moment, 20 after the whistle. Can you tell me what started it, please?
So number 20 from
Miami, sorry.
number 20 tackling a player off the ball. Checking now, Luke.
After the whistle has gone. So at the moment, I'm going to reverse it. the knock on, and it's going to be a penalty against Miami. But I want to see what's started.
Okay, I'll just check the angles now, Luke. Thank you.
Cam Russell, our TMO, it's in his hands now.
No, that's why I want to, because there's a weird reaction there, so I want to see what started that.
And you heard what
it is, someone's going to the bin.
Luke Rogan said, and Cam looks through this. We get an opportunity, we'll show you the sequence again here once the review is complete here.
So yeah, at the moment it would be penalty against and a bin to 20 for off the ball, because we've warned them
Luke,
about that.
I have nothing clear that overrides your on-field call.
Okay, so at the moment it's off the ball, so we had a chat down there, so I'm going to be yellow carding 20 pink for off the ball after the whistle. Can you confirm those facts?
Confirmed, it is number 20 after the whistle, tackling a play.
Jason! Matthias and 20, please. Back we go. Back you go. Matthias and number 20. Oh, you're going to be captain. Sorry, I thought Matthias was captain. Yeah? Apologies. So we haven't seen what started that, okay? But this is the message to both captains right now. I've already warned. We're now going to penalise your player here. It's after the whistle. He's tackled a player. He's going to the bin as well.
There's the verdict. Manuel Ardao is heading off to the bin here with a 6-point deficit facing his team here in the 56th minute.
Christian.
Just when I was applauding him for all his hard work at the breakdown and his ability to stay in the fight and cause the knock-on, it literally just happened after that, which I didn't quite see. Just taking out Jason Dahm needlessly. Just a needless penalty. And the referee has deemed it so unnecessary that it's almost like foul play, yellow card. And I think that's really also a decision based on he doesn't want to see any more afters now. Both teams have got to be on the same line.
Throw in there to Yuri Van Buren now at the back. Sugar's in there under his left arm. 12th yellow card of the season on Miami. Came into the weekend tied for the 5th spot in MLR in that category. LA with 23. They have the most in MLR. Here's McDonald. Reese McDonald. They get him. To the floor he goes. Smith. Pick and go initially. Now Meeks. Now a whistle.
We're going to go back.
Yep, obstruction says Luke Rogan on LA.
Yeah, absolutely the right call.
Yep.
It looked good. It looked good, and it looked like it was going to be Andrew Cohen for a second. Probably even a deserved second, because he's had a very fine game, the Canadian, on this right wing. But that was blocking.
Okay,
we're going to come all the way back, though.
We had a warning about you guys giving my penalties in the 22. We've had a really good period where we haven't had it. Okay, now we've had it again at the mall. Have a chat to your boys. You've already lost one to the bin. I don't want to put another one, okay?
We had the same situation. Both same.
Different situation. They haven't been on a warning. You guys were. Have a chat.
There you go. So probably another penalty, or if there's another penalty against Miami, that could be another player in the bin. So they really are on thin ice with Luke Rogan. And
pulling a player out.
Now you just think for LA, man advantage, 5 meters out, it's the time to strike and just increase that lead.
They're one try away from the try bonus point. They've done that 11 times this season, most in MLR. Miami, his teams won 5 of 6, putting up a fight here. LA trying to power their way. They got another one in. Arm in the air, and it's in and down. The big men have eaten well here today in this match, and that is another one for the big guys up front.
It is. It's a fantastic team effort, not just by the forwards, but also I think Christian Leonofano just adds a little bit of his weight. The number 10. Good setup to break through that first initial counter drive from Miami. And just wondering, I thought it was Jason Dahm, but no, it was him, Jason Dahm, at the front of it. In the end, the try, we'll find out just from here who had the last laugh. Looks like Ben Sugars, the number 2, gets over.
Yep.
And that is a fine score by RFC LA. Bonus point in the bag already. They will be very happy about that.
Indeed. Once again, they've hit it kick coming. They lead this match now by 11. Miami still with about 7 minutes remaining in that yellow card. And that conversion attempt is up and through and good. And it's 26-13. And the kick there from the veteran, Christian Lealifano. And there's the score, Ben Sugars, our try summary. LA hits 4 again here, Will. They are a machine in that department.
That's been their thing this year, isn't it? They just have bonus points upon bonus points upon bonus points. Even the win on Monday, that last try of the game, just happened to be their 4th try against Chicago. So that was a bonus point win. Still some work to be done. Yes, Miami have a man in the bin, but still 22 minutes, and now Miami have the attack.
They do, and they've got it in a great attacking position here. Ben Strang has come in at hooker, replacing Sugars. Now this Miami side needs some offense. Rick Rose has come in. Wears number 19 for Miami. In to replace Tomas Casares. Kubeli got it free. Short little inside ball there into the hands there of Giuseppe Toy. Near the edge and mishandled and into touch and turned over by the Sharks.
Yeah, play on. Option was taken.
Letting that one bounce, and it's still in the field of play. Gathered in by Elias. LA 2 on the ball. Chan there. Van Voot there as well. They wrestle down Beckerman. He's got one of the Miami tries in this match. The only Miami try in the match, in fact. Good job getting the ball there by Lealifano. Off the turf. Videla played it off. Big man getting a run here. Olamatangi.
Not on, both on the ball.
Not much coming there. Chan with a good tackle getting in there. Kubeli worked it out of there.
Tackle, let go!
Elias.
He's on his knees on the ground.
Call you hear from Luke Rogan. It's going against LA.
Nah, his knees on the ground. His knees on the ground, let go.
Good injection of energy into the attack, and more substitutes that have come on for Miami now. Ones are going to step up. This man, Rick Rose. Love seeing him playing at the moment. Obviously, the 2023 draftee, St. Bonaventure, fantastic talent. I am really excited, hopefully, for his future. I want to see him in a USA Eagles jersey. Not only just his size, but he's also, hearing from Pelasina, he's very intelligent, and in terms of like the line out, having a play caller in that position, an American as well, I'm really excited about this young man's future. Great to see him on the field. He's a large man as well. Look at the height of him. Going to need him now at the line, I'm sure.
Big unit indeed. There he is, that red scrum cap on.
Play on.
They go short with it, though, and LA steals it. And Miami getting it back. On the ball there on the floor was Kubeli. Picked up, taken out of there from the back by Bonasso. Pushes on. Myhill gets in there, 16. Sharks under some pressure here. Anstey makes the tackle for LA. And that one's mishandled.
Yeah, knock-on advantage is the kicker.
Yep.
He's dropped it. Drink. No, you didn't. You lost it. You lost it for me. You're not in control when you kicked it. It's a knock-on. Yeah. Drink break, fellas. Water break.
All right, we've hit the hydration break here in the 63rd minute. Miami needs 5 points to clinch a playoff spot. LA, they're in control here, leading by 13. They're trying to move up in the playoff race in the West.
In an ever-changing landscape where every decision matters, our mission is clear: to delight our customers at every turn. At Globant, we create the digital products everybody loves and empower global brands by building impactful solutions for millions of people. Our studio networks are responsible for creating experiences that leave a lasting impact, building AI-powered business solutions tailored to each industry, empowering brands with a blend of creativity, strategy, and technology, enhancing efficiency and accelerating breakthroughs with a unique AI model and agents for software development, boosting productivity with cutting-edge tech and implementation services with market-leading partners. Driven by technology and passion, we dare to go far, we dare to go fast, we dare to disrupt. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
This presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by No Cap Soda Pop. No sugar, no caffeine, no calories. No Cap Soda Pop, the official soda pop of the next generation. Available in-store and online. And shopmlr.com. Get your MLR fan gear today at shopmlr.com. California, RFC LA, final home match of the season for them. Their next two will be on the road, all the way cross-country, Miami. A little cooler for Miami in this part of the country than it is down there in South Florida, but right now they're still down a man here, Will, for a little less than 3 minutes. This is a big moment, big situation in this match for Miami.
Yeah, they can come away with a score. They've certainly been in the right areas. Just a little bit of inaccuracy has really been their issue. If they can get a try before Ardell comes back on the field, really changes a lot of their mentality. And there we go, another scrum. Another scrum penalty, I want to say, and just gives this chance to kick it into the corner. And Miami now, this is a real moment in this game now. 62 minutes, get themselves a try. Obvious to say it, but in particular, when they've got a man in the bin, it just picks up the belief. Score now, that probably takes a minute, then they wait another minute, they're back to 50 men on 50 men.
Yep. It's a two-possession match right now at 13. Myhill the throw here in a big one. Rick Rose gets in there, lifts up his man, Ben Bonasso. Now Miami. Myhill at the back, 16, ball under his right arm. Gonna free it up to the back. Kubeli takes it out. Kubeli played it on. Giuseppe Toy scored last week. Carry there from the big fella. Will talked about him. Ricky Rose. And Miami. That is a costly mishandle from the Sharks.
It is, and it's from Benny Bonasso, not the usual man who would be making a mistake. He has been everywhere for the Sharks today. He'll be as disappointed as anyone. It was a good stop at the maul by LA. Needed to happen because you could sense that the Sharks are relying on that.
Yep.
Relying to get the go forward, and that go forward, maybe even towards the try line. And then they kind of got lost with ideas. Just wonder, that's another chance gone begging, and it allows LA just to exit. But as we know with LA, when we say exit, doesn't mean they're going to kick it.
No. That is for certain with the tempo and pace they want. Half a minute to go now. And the yellow card to Manuel Ardal. Now Smith gets it out. Van Voot now will go to the left. Rory Van Voot, man back there, the take for Miami. Sharks now in the dying seconds of that yellow card. 15 to go in it. Trying to get Ardal back. Still well in this match is Miami. That doesn't help either.
Sloppy.
Yep.
Really sloppy. And look at it, just literally from having a penalty and a line out inside the 22. And frankly, under your own control, 2 errors, a drop ball, and then another knock on, and they find themselves now defending a scrum thrown half. Rugby is a game of momentum, and if you don't take your purple patches, your momentum, and convert that into, well, opportunities and then, of course, points, it's a let-off. Yes, Ardal's now back on the field, number 20
there he is
for Miami, but
don't wipe it on your jersey.
even if they didn't come away with necessarily points, just the flip of territory so quickly is such a mental win for LA now.
Card was issued in the 56th minute on Manuel Ardao. Sugars got the try. They gave up just a 1. In that time, they were down a man with 14 on the pitch. Here we go, scrum for LA.
Both down, play away.
Taz Smith getting it free. Meeks, good ball movement here. A little bit low on the pass. And Rogan says it was knocked on there, that low pass, so Miami gets a break here.
LA doing the same as Miami, just gifting it back. And the play looked really good. It looked really good, the way how they were holding defenders in the midfield, using the 9 on the wraparound, and you think Rory Van Voot in a bit of space would have been dangerous. The ball just not good enough, right at his shoelaces. And the knock on and handing it back to Miami.
Yeah, just get your feet up. It's a bit slippery. Yeah, that one we just both out. All right.
Regan O'Gorman's come into the match, replacing Van Vuren. Olwine's in,
Let's go, fellas.
replacing the prop up front, Haney. Tucci also has come in on the Miami side. Big prop for them. See him there on the left, wearing number 17.
Make sure we get a hook.
See if Miami can get something rolling here. Ball in the hands of Tomas Kubeli. There's that substitution. Tucci in for Muti. Sharks now looking to go on the attack here. Down 13, got some speed, got help out there if they want it. Don't opt to go outside on the edge to Mora. Huge run early with a big stiff arm. The fend off on Kunatani, got him right in the face. Kunatani is not in the match anymore. DeToy with a short carry. Kubeli.
Keep going back.
Job by LA, but a good push here from Miami. Tough carry there. Kubeli. Sharks working it toward the far side of the pitch in the hands there of Ben Bonasso. Ben Bonasso with a tough run of his own. Kubeli. Ricky Rose. Sharks coming with some tempo now. Spinning it back, help on the edge, they've got it. Good ball played into the hands there of Beckerman. He's got the Miami try. Came back in the 33rd minute. Videla went to ground. Pushing and pushing. Good work here out of Miami. Another opportunity close to that line. Tucci.
Step back, step back.
Kubeli finds Myhill.
Thank you.
Thought about going outside with it, instead keeping it there.
Let him go.
Now on the run, Ardao. He's a tough customer. Anstey's there. Rogan's back there. Still short of it at this point. Miami, now they get it down. Rogan, arm in the air, and the Sharks pound one down to the Orange County turf.
And what an important try that is. Comes from their experienced leader. So close to the line. It was the work done just before that. I did wonder whether that was maybe a slight bit of blocking. I'm not sure it is. No interference with Ardao. He nearly gets over. And then the Argentinian just stays patient. Literally a meter out, he dives over and gets the important third try for Miami. Just watch it here, just literally dives, getting over that blue line. Yeah, that's down. And we've got ourselves a game now here. Ben, we really, really do. This conversion goes over, and it's within a 1 score.
Tomas Kubeli, that's his 3rd try of the season. A massive kick here, as you mentioned. Eyeing it up here is Santiago Videla. And strike with that right foot, and that one is absolutely right down Santa Monica Boulevard, and we have a 6-point match here, Will.
We do. And like I say, that little bit of energy that Miami needs. They're now to 15 players. Ardao, clearly, he's come back on and he's got energy.
Yep.
He was everywhere in that attack. As Miami just are fighting their way really back into this game.
Won just 2 of their first 7.
Don't move in front.
Dropped 4 in a row. They've won 5 of their last 6 now. LA's won their last 2 after a winless skid of 4 matches. LA's got it here on the right side of the pitch. Line out coming up for them. Ben Strang now. He's running as the hooker, wearing 20 here in the final 10 minutes of this match. Strang, deep throw there. Rogan, though, doesn't like it. Yep.
Not straight.
Back to Miami, Will.
Not straight.
Yep.
Jason Dahm saying there was not matching numbers in the line out, but not really. The referee saying not the issue. The issue was not straight, just gifting it back to Miami. And when I said about momentum, this is exactly what Miami will want in this last 10 minutes. Get themselves inside the LA half. And yes, they're chasing the game, but LA probably feeling like they're under pressure now. They had it a lot of their own way, particularly in the beginning of that the second half. But the Sharks are just showing why they've been good. Their fight, their eagerness, their hunger, particularly in the contact area. They're going to fight back.
Kubeli played out of there, working through the phases. Little look off there. Speed coming. Look out. Mora. He's had some big carries in this match as that winger, number 11. Now the Sharks circling in the water, so to speak, here. And a penalty that's going against Miami. And a costly one there.
Great turnover. I think it was from Reece McDonald. It was a lovely attack from Miami, though, wasn't it? It really was. Everything I'm noticing is coming around the Argentinian Orlando. He has stepped up massively today. I've actually been impressed by him in the last few weeks. The former Newcastle Falcon, over 50 caps for Argentina, and they just play around him. Just watch, so they find it into the number 13's hands. He takes it to the line, just offers that little bit of extra space. The dummy and go for Elias. And they get him behind Miami, but then it's their just effectiveness at the breakdown wasn't good enough. Reece McDonald got a great turnover, but for Miami, they've let that one go again. Getting into some great positions, but then just not being effective at that breakdown, costing them.
Okay, time back on. Let's go.
Marcos Young now, wearing 23 in for Miami in those pink kits, short here. They go short on the line out to O-line. Now Meeks. Miami here in the 74th minute, down by 6 here. Bonus point already for Los Angeles here. Made a living on those points here this season. 12th time this season they've hit the try bonus point for RFC LA. Now LA feeling a little bit of heat. They kick it away. The Sharks have got it back now here in the 74th minute. Oh, big collision there, and then looked like Van Voot went down. That was Leali Fano that initially went up, but Rory Van Voot came in there, and he reached for his face. Now you got a Miami player on his knees as well.
Not really sure what's happened here.
Take a look.
Contest in the air, that's fair.
Oh, he got kicked in the face. Van Voot, a leg came up here. Watch number 11, right there. Ouch.
That was just carnage, wasn't it?
Yes.
Andrew Coe running back to clear things up. And they will check this. It's hard to see whether any foul play has happened, but I think it was just a situation.
Yeah.
Okay. So contest is fine here, but what we've got is 21 has obstructed the chasers. Okay, he hasn't given clear access to the to the contest, so it'll be a penalty against you on the 10 metres. Okay?
There we go. There we go. And you know what? This is easy for me to say, but I've looked in my other monitor on the wide angle, and I was literally just looking at whether Santiago Videla comes in. He literally comes in and gets blocked by Danny Christensen.
Yep. Here's a look.
Here's a look. Just watch it. Videla also comes involved, but Christensen wearing white 21, he gets in the way, he blocks. And that is something they've really cut down on. Yeah, it's marginal, but it's enough to prevent that the player who was also trying to go up in the air, Videla, from getting anywhere near the ball. So that's why it's the penalty, blocking from Christensen.
And now Miami inside of the 22. Matt Antisev, the youngster, into the match for Los Angeles, wearing 22. Right now, Miami, they are literally circling in the waters here. Myhill at the back. The Sharks, a converted try away from taking the lead here. Again, a bonus point win for them would get them into the postseason. Casares with a tough carry, the lock, number 4. Kubeli at the base, takes a look, plays it out. Good push there from Benasso. This Miami side, there is absolutely no quit. They've got all kinds of fight.
Put him there. You got on top of him. Put him there.
Winners of 5 of their last 6. Tough carry there from the Toy. He scored last week. Veteran player in this league. Short inside there to Casares again. Kubeli thought about keeping it, played it back instead. Here they come. Good job by Chan and Heaton to get to the carrier.
Away, White, step back here.
Luke Rogan directing traffic in there is Rick Rose.
Move, 4.
Burrows his way into the turf. Kubeli out of there. Outside edge, they work it down on the floor. Picked up, nowhere to go. Good job by McDonald out there. He's got a hold of the ankle there. Now, big power coming here on a heavy run from Tucci. Sharks still coming, phase after phase.
No, 7, don't touch the 9, well done.
Kubeli. Myhill looking for help, wanted to offload, he couldn't, went to ground. Now they'll try this side, Moore is out there. Good carry out there, gets him a little bit closer. Kubeli in there. Spins a good ball. Kubeli again for the base. Another big, heavy, tough carry from Tucci. Benasso took it himself. 4 minutes to go. The Sharks trying to get this.
Use it!
Try and get the lead here. Down low. Oh boy, what a passage for Miami, and that stops it.
Oh boy, you can tell Kirby Myhill, disappointment in his face. It's the pass from Thomas Malinos, and I question why he went to scrum half. Kubeli was just in control of that whole passage of play.
He was.
He's been excellent since he's been on in the second half. Really has been one of the differences in why this Miami side has started to fight its way back into the game. And as he stepped away, Malinos came in. I thought maybe Malinos was going to carry the ball, but then he passed it, and the pass wasn't good. Myhill couldn't pick it up off the floor. And just when they were knocking at the door of that LA line, it's that bit of inaccuracy again, Ben. How many times have we seen them inside this 22?
Handful.
Come away with no points, just knocking it on. Yeah, they got one try about 10 minutes ago, but they've been in this situation at least 3 times in this second half and just handed it back over.
Quick reset.
Just a couple of minutes remaining. Into the 79th minute now. Miami gonna look to get a massive turnover here. That's their goal here. It's LA side, 5 straight matches that they've scored in the 77th minute or later. Miami showing fight, ball's free. You heard Rogan, the ball's out of there. And the Sharks trying to win the battle. But there's the call and the signal. And it's Miami coming up with it. RFC LA did not release that ball in time. So they kick this and they'll set up the line out here and they'll try to power this maul in here. Now into the final minute in this match, a 6-point lead for LA.
Just have a chat, yeah.
You know who that turnover was from? Thomas Cabelli. Wow, what a moment, what a moment for your leader to step up and get the turnover now. Chance, maybe the final chance of the game.
Myhill the throw, good job. They're not far away, inside of 5 meters away. Miami trying to get the lead here. LA lost this way, or won last week this way. On the brink of losing the other way here. Final seconds here in this match. Rose from the base wants to pick and go, played it back. Good job by Dom and Heaton. Those guys getting in there to make a big tackle. Not far at all away from this line. Picked up, still short. Rogan's on the right side of your screen, watching closely. Miami worked it out. Kubeli played it out. LA trying to hold up here. Ball's down on the floor, played out of there. Another big carry, and getting there was DeToy with the carry, and a great finish there, taking down Beckerman. Now it's played back into the hands of Casares. Miami, the clock is in the red, trying to win this thing here at the death. Battling away in there. Rogan, see him, played to the right. Another big double teaming tackle from LA. Miami, heavy run, but they're gonna come to floor with it. Out of there, little shake there. 2 LA defenders there to get the ball carrier, Elias. Rogan right there, they work it free. Near the line, Heaton the tackle, Rogan's in there, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Sharks get it free, they get it out, working this near side edge. Man all alone out there, Videla, and LA getting it backwards. And Rogan with the call, the ball is knocked on. And Los Angeles, they won last week at the Horn. This week they hold on at the Horn and win again.
Right at the death. Miami will be kicking themselves. You've got a 2-on-1. You've got to pass the ball at the end and they win the game. They potentially win the game. But LA just hold on with the stop. Wow.
Our moment of the match is this stand. Last week it was LA on the attack getting in. This week, Will Hooley, they flex their muscle and they hold.
Just pass it though there. Just pass it, Miami. Great work in the end. Rory Van Voot came up with some brilliant tackles. He made a massive hit on Beckerman, and then he's there at the end to make that impact play. Ultimately leading to the turnover, and LA hold on, but for the Sharks, they could have got the win here in California. Not to be. RFC LA hold on. Wow, what a finish.
5 points for Rory Van Voot and company. So with the quick math, Los Angeles now up into the 3rd spot. You see Semi Kunitani there, number 8. And the prop there, Malu Nafe. And looks like Isaac's in there as well. And man, did they have to battle and fight and scratch and claw and just come up with a way to get it done. I don't know who you're going to pick here, Will Hooley, but these are our player of the match candidates.
I was flicking in all sorts of directions because if Miami going to win that, which I thought they might at the end, I thought Thomas Cabelli was amazing in the second half. But Orlando, the carries, the meters he was making, he was literally the kingpin of Miami in terms of their resurrection in the second half. But Heaney, what a performance here in number 1.
Terrific.
His carrying, his ability, his work at set piece. But Andrew Coe, excellent first half by that man. He was everywhere in defense as well, getting that try early on. Really impressive stuff. Well, from both wingers, I've got to shout out Van Voot right at the end there as well. But I'll give it to the Canadian. on a fine overall performance. LA just holding on.
What a match. Another thriller involving this RFC LA side. Will and I will catch our breath and come back and talk with our player of the match in a thriller from Orange County.
Not done yet.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown.
A one-stop shop for all rugby lovers, from unparalleled access, big-name interviews, and special features.
I'm Alana Marr.
Jocko here.
We've got you covered.
This presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by Sportable. Smart ball insights and data brought to you by Sportable. And No Cap Soda Pop. No sugar, no caffeine, no calories. No Cap Soda Pop, the official soda pop of the next generation. Available in-store and online today. I think everyone needs a soda pop after that one. Another RFC LA match, Will Hooley. You and I were fortunate to call the one Monday. And another classic, an MLR instant classic, as RFC LA now moves themselves into third for the time being in the Western Conference, 26-20. They deny Miami clinching a playoff spot here today. They've got 2 matches to go. Player of the match is Andrew Coe, fine young Canadian with us. Andrew, 13 carries, 60-plus meters, a try and an assist. How in the heck did you guys hold on there at the end is my question.
All heart. We were talking all week, last week as well. We just have to have 23 dogs out there wanting to win. And, you know, what happens in rugby is the team that wants it more usually ends up on top. So, yeah, we wanted it today.
Man, you gave everything tonight, buddy. And just, this was a really important win. You know how tight the West is. How much has that context been talked about, man? It was a must-win for you guys today to be in the race.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I've been 4 years in this league. I don't know if we've had a tighter year than this one. Every game matters. Every bonus point matters. It'll be interesting coming down through the last 2 games of the stretch here, what goes on.
Now, you play such an attacking brand of rugby. You run from anywhere. Bertrand didn't play today. Tas Smith stepped up. Do you feel comfortable? You guys literally are electric. Miami really did their best to stop you, but this attacking style of play, it's getting you to the top.
It's fun footy. It's fun to watch for fans, and it's fun to play in. It's like, you know, back growing up in the backyard, tossing the footy around. It's it's exciting, and all the boys are behind it, and you know, we're starting to string some wins together, which is always good.
So you scored the opening try for your side. You sent up Tim Anstey. You were everywhere, and Will and I commented a lot about the man on the other wing, and that's Rory Van Voot. Talk about the way he played and the things he did out there today opposite you on the pitch, Andrew.
Yeah, that's the roomie. Me and him live together. Yeah, we go over a lot of stuff together, and yeah, he's a shoulder I can count on, a crutch that I rely on. He's an unbelievable player. Yeah, he's to have him on the other side is makes me step up a little bit more too.
Love it.
Well, you certainly stepped up today, man. So did Rory Van Voot. But in a massive, massive game next week. Back on the road this time. Just for these last 2 weeks of the season, how are you feeling? How are you coping with the pressure in the West?
Yeah, I mean, we're watching all the games, and I'm sure a lot of teams are watching that game as well. You know, I think Nola is the only one who really wanted us to win that game. But yeah, I got a try and assist. I was just missing a fight for the old Gordie Howe hat trick. So maybe next week I'll drop the gloves and then get a Gordie Howe going.
My man, because I am a huge hockey
If you don't know Gordie Howe, yeah, there you go. You understand.
I do. I'm from Detroit. I'll have to educate Will on it. That's awesome. Nice hockey drop, man. We got to talk sometime, Andrew. Thank you.
Great game, buddy.
Heck of a shift by you and your boys, man. The last 2 weeks have been dynamite calling your matches. Thanks for this, and good luck in the next two.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, you bet. There's Andrew Coe, our player of the match, dropping a Gordie Howe hat trick. Google that. You don't know.
We'll have to, won't I?
Google that. What a shift from LA, and what a close on round 15, man.
Great shift from LA, but they had to fight for it right at the end.
Yep.
A massive credit from Miami. You just felt if that game went on longer, the Sharks probably, maybe should have got the win. But epitomized really with the work rate, the energy that they bring, this RFC LA attack. Andrew Coe being at the forefront of that, picking off some great lines, a try. And you just wonder, with that, the way Los Angeles play, with the ball in hand, with the threats they have, could this be a side that can go all the way?
I think it is.
Just from the attacking style of play they play.
I really do. I think it is. I think this is a team that the Western Conference better be ready for once the playoffs start and as long as they get in. But right now, they're in an even better spot in third in the West. That was fun, man. For Will Hooley, all of our outstanding crew, hope you enjoyed the broadcast. It was our pleasure to bring it to you. Ben Holden saying thanks for watching. And another classic from RFC LA. This week, they win by 6 at the Horn.